Happy Saturday, vape heads. Today, we're going to be finally, I know it's been waiting, but we're finally looking at a Subtank Mini. Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this one. Alright guys, let's get right into it. Today, looking at the Subtank Mini. I've been vaping this for like over a month. I've been meaning to review it, I just haven't had the time. I just had a baby, all that stuff. So today I'm vaping it on my infected mod that I picked up yesterday. It fucking vapes great. I'm talking, usually I have to draw a really long time to get a lot of clouds off of my other mods. This thing, I mean, watch this. I mean, I barely got to suck on this thing and it just comes shooting down my lungs. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get right to it. Alright, I picked this up from my local vape shop. I paid probably a little more than usual. You can find this, you know, now for about 40 bucks or so. It's from Kangertech. They're one of the front runners right now for vape equipment and stuff. They're, you know, they're up there with Aspire and all that stuff. So if you're a Kanger fan, this is going to be the video for you. When you do pick this up, it comes in really nice packaging. It's wrapped in plastic. You unwrap it and then the sleeve slides off, and you know, and then actually these boxes are fucking cool because they actually are like a little drawer. They come sliding out like that, and then your tank will go there. And underneath, you know, it comes with goodies. It comes with your extra coil, cotton, an extra glass piece to go over it, O-rings, all that stuff. So it comes with, you know, there's your glass piece. I've already taken the coils out and used them. But, I mean, just the packaging alone for the Subtank Mini is they really went the distance to make this a sturdy box that you can reuse, that if you're going to transport it and you don't want it to get broken, I mean, it's amazing. You just put the tank back in here and this thing is a sturdy, I mean, look at this. I'm squeezing this and, I mean, it is barely flexing here. This thing is a sturdy box. And you know, it's just neat. It looks like a little drawer, you know. So there's your empty side, there's the top, and it slides in, and there's a rim around the edge here. You see that? And it just slides in, flush, and it looks like a little drawer. But, okay, so the specs on this thing are, you know, if you're watching this video, no doubt you know what the Subtank Mini is, and you're just kind of, you know, see what other people think. But I'll go ahead and run through them for, you know, anybody out there who doesn't know about this tank, okay? Now this is a sub-ohm tank. This is meant to blow big clouds and vape it. Sub-ohm resistance. And resistance is going to be your ohms. And this comes with above resistance coils, a coil, and a below resistance coil for, you know, someone who's going for a mouth to lung or for a full lung hit. You know, this option is for everybody. And if you're a rebuilder who likes to build your own coils, it also comes with an RBA option as well to rebuild your own coils. It's fucking amazing. This tank is a universal tank for everybody. This is why it's so amazing. Okay, the specs say the kit contains, when it, you know, you get it at the store, the Subtank Mini, it comes with a 0.5 ohm coil and a 1.2 ohm coil. It comes with your RBA and 2 extra coils for the RBA. One's installed in the RBA and you have an extra to put on there if that one burns out. It comes with your mini base for the RBA. It comes with Japanese organic cotton, so you can rebuild your own coil right out of the box. You don't need to go buy anything else. And it's got your extra Pyrex glass tube, a mini screwdriver, 2 extra screws, because when you're fucking doing that RBA shit, those screws are tiny and you lose them and it's a pain in the ass. So throwing those extra things in there is amazing. And it also comes with your manual. And the manual mainly is going to point out how to rebuild. And it does have your other stuff in there, but it's mainly about rebuilding. Okay, so now the specs are out of the way. This thing is fucking awesome. I've dropped this thing, straight up dropped it like 4 times from, you know, waist high to concrete, and the fucker didn't even scratch. I mean, this thing is amazing. I had it on my K-box when I first got it. I dropped it, put a big old fat ding in the battery screw-in part of the K-box, but that was it. Didn't even nick the tank. The Pyrex glass did not break. I did not have to replace it. This thing is a beast. Okay? I have had a little bit of issues with leaking, but that was because I did not screw my coil in when I replaced it tight enough, and it was leaking out from under it, and it was coming out the airflow here. Now this tank is going to have adjustable airflow. And now it's going to have a couple options. There's going to be wide open, and this does click into place when you turn it, so it's nice. See, now there's going to be your tiny airflow. There's going to be your next size up, and if you shift it just right to where that second setting is, between the second and third setting, you're going to get 2 holes. And then if you just continue on and finish that third setting, you're going to get the full open. If you're going to go for big clouds, I'd recommend doing the full open. If you're looking for a mouth to lung, I would do the smaller pinhole or the little bit bigger pinhole. And if I also like to vape it with the 2 holes if I'm going to do clouds and I don't want that full open airflow. But this thing is amazing. It's a 4.5 milliliter tank. It'll hold a lot of juice. This thing will last you 2-3 days on one tank if you're not a heavy vapor. So I cannot say enough good things. Also, another thing I did notice with this tank, it's really an issue with the user, not with the tank. When you're filling it or replacing the coils, sometimes juice gets under this O-ring and it will leak out between this seal. So you got to make sure you wipe off the glass below the O-ring, or else it will leak out when you screw it back in. So be careful with that. Make sure you're cleaning beneath that O-ring before you put your other coil, before you screw it back together, because that is going to cause your leaks. I've heard a lot of things about leaking with this. It's not really the tank itself, it's the users. So don't get discouraged about that. Chances are, if it's not a defective tank, it's how you're using it and you're doing something wrong. But it did not fuck up any of my mods. I made sure of that. It does have a removable drip tip, and it is 510 threaded. Go ahead and unscrew that for you. So it is your 510 threading, and it fits great on pretty much every mod I have. I like it on this infected mod because it's like a tube. This thing is heavy copper. This thing is heavy, it's beastly. So if I drop it or bang it around, it's pretty much going to be protected. The only thing I'd worry about is that Pyrex glass tank breaking. But these are pretty sturdy as well. Like I said, I've dropped this a few times. Okay, hands down, this is my favorite tank that I own. I can't compare it to the ones I don't have, but the ones I do have, such as your Aspire Nautilus Mini, I have a Pro Tank 3, I have an Aspire Glassomizer, I have disposable tanks like the CE4s and the CE5s. I've tried this on a lot of, just a lot of different tanks on all my mods, and this by far is my favorite, hands down. I use this every single day. If I'm not vaping on my Ego 1 when I'm out and about, this is what I'm vaping on. I mean, with this now, it's conveniently going to fit in my pocket, and yeah, it is a little bulky and a little heavy, but I like it. And another thing about the mod that is on there, I know this has nothing to do with the tank, but the mod has no button. The button is on the bottom, so it kind of pushes your battery up against that copper plate and it just fires. So you can't accidentally press the button in your pocket unless you got a million fucking things in your pocket and something accidentally bumps into it. The chances are this isn't going to fire in your pocket. Okay, but this tank, top of the line. If you're looking, for any of the Subtanks by Kanger, I cannot say anything about the other two because I've not tried them, but I've heard they're pretty much the same. So only better. I mean, it basically depends on how much juice you want. The Subtank is going to hold 7 milliliters. This is going to hold 4.5, and then there's also a Subtank, a littler one, the Nano, and that's going to hold even less juice. So really, it kind of just is personal preference. What size tank you want, how much juice do you want to hold, and do you want the rebuildable option? That comes with I think the Subtank and the Subtank Mini. I don't know if it comes with the Nano, but I bought this with no intention of even opening that rebuildable thing. But eventually I was buying coils, and you can get replacement coils for these. They're about $20 depending on where you buy them, but they're going to run you about between $15 and $20 for a 5-pack. And I noticed with my vaping habit, which I'm vaping all day long, So, you know, a coil would last me, I'd say, about 4 or 5 days to a week and a half, depending on how hard I was hitting it and how high I was vaping it on wattage or voltage. But I'm telling you guys, this tank is, I mean, if I had to go fucking stranded on a desert isle, this is the one tank I would take with me. If I never had another tank again, out of all the tanks I've tried, this is the one I fucking would want with me, hands down. Red's my favorite color. It's got the red O-rings. It does come with black replaceables, and I mean, you can pretty much get any color O-ring you want, but you know, red's my favorite color, so that was what stood out to me in the vape shop when I bought it. And I mean, the sub-ohm capabilities, this thing reads resistances down to, or you know, if you got resistances, you can pretty much build anything on this, and your mod, as long as it reads that low resistance, it's gonna read this tank. This thing is fucking amazing. I can't say enough good things about how Kanger, you know, just went all out for this tank. You know, so that's my personal opinion. For you guys out there who don't like the Subtanks or Kanger for that matter, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, this thing is amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. The flavor off this is great. The airflow off this is great. And the fact that you can rebuild your own coil for dirt cheap. You can go buy wire and cotton. We're talking probably for 20 bucks, and that's enough to build you at least 50 to 100 coils. So, you know, you pay 20 bucks and get the 5 replacement ones, or you can rebuild your, you know, 50 to 100 of them for the same price. So really, it kind of is your comfort level with, you know, how you want to go. If you're a rebuilder, if you're not a rebuilder, you know, some people are just more comfortable buying the replacement coils too, and that's fine. You know, whatever your preference is. I'm just here to tell you what I think about it. And fucking A. Right now, if I had to say it, you know, because I haven't compared it to a lot of other stuff, best tank on the market, hands down. You know, vape has been stepping up steadily over the past couple years, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. But right now, Kanger and Aspire are front runners, and Kanger is a fucking winner with this fucking tank right now. It's just amazing. I mean, it does get a little bit of burnt taste. I know if you vape it too high, if you're looking at 40 watts and you're taking long draws, yeah, you're going to get a burnt taste, so be careful with that. You know, this is not going to be your cloud competition kind of stuff. This is just if you want to blow big clouds and, you know, you're a casual vapor, you're not, you know, chasing competitions or looking to blow huge clouds. It will blow big clouds and it will impress your friends if that's what you're going for. But don't think you're going to get the most amazing clouds out of this, because, you know, that's not what it's for. This is a tank. This is not an atomizer that you rebuild on. This is a tank. It's meant to put your juice in. It's not a dripper. You know what I mean? This is definitely for people who want to blow big clouds, but really kind of are just maybe getting into the rebuilding. This would be a good stepping stone for someone who was interested in it, but was kind of afraid to just spend a bunch of money on an atomizer and all the supplies you need to rebuild. But, you know, I can't say enough fucking amazing things about the Kanger Subtank Mini. Number one for me, this tank gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm telling you guys. If you had to get one tank and you're curious about buying a new tank, you want to maybe go to sub-ohm resistances, you know, resistance below 1.0, this is the tank you're going to want, okay? If I do get a hold of Atlantis, Aspire Atlantis, I'll go head-to-head with these two, because these two were kind of out at the same time. And they were the front runners at one point until the other tanks came out. But alright guys, I'll give you one more for the road, and that's what, you know, the review I've been waiting to do for the Subtank Mini. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I probably will be throwing up another video tomorrow. Alright guys, Vape Gamer out.